What's up, guys? Tuki here, back again. This is another episode of my Fantasy Draft Franchise Mode series. Of course, using the St. Louis Blues here on NHL 17. And today, we finish up the offseason. The offseason, I said that weird. We are the defending Stanley Cup Champions, and what this team eventually looks like, who knows? Obviously, a very interesting episode the last time out with our goalie situation. That's just... what the hell was I thinking, right? But the good news is Vevalainen isn't looking for too much money, so we'll sign him to exactly what he wants. This video, don't worry, it will be going up in conjunction, it will be going up together with the Bruins video, although the Bruins video was supposed to go up today. It didn't because I had a very busy day. But having already recorded that Bruins video when I record this, I will say this video will have quite a different tone. Don't worry about that. This video will have quite a different tone, not so much rage and venting. But hey, every once in a while, you gotta rage a little bit, you gotta vent a little bit. All that frustration from this game, even though it is just a game, it's just, I don't know. Sometimes you gotta vent. I didn't plan on re-signing Bruce, actually. Maybe we will. Maybe we will. Maybe he'll turn into a Ralph Jarrett type. We will let go of Myers, though. We'll let go of him. But anyway, I don't want to get back on that subject too much, but like I said, that video hasn't even gone live yet, and I am dreading making that video live. Lindblom, will he accept a 1-year deal? Because I think he's a risk. I don't know how much he'll progress. But, yeah, I don't know. The reaction to that video is going to be interesting. Just know that I am not immune to raging over video games, just like you. Normal person, of course. But anyway. Max Pacioretty is the big re-sign here that we need to get. He is looking for some money. Yes, he is. So, I'm willing to sign him. Again, I don't know if we'll keep him. That remains to be seen. It really depends on who progresses, who's on the free agent list, and stuff like that. But we can save about $1 million. So I'm going to try to go to 5.25, and I'll give him the 4 years that he wants. And we will see if that works out. Hopefully it does, but like I said, I'm really nervous now because we still have a couple of seasons to go here before we start any new series. Of course, once the real-life NHL trade deadline has passed. So we're still going to be going here, and we have to worry about the future because there are going to be, like I showed at the end of the last episode, there are going to be some really difficult contract situations coming up. But everyone re-signed. Allow me to double-check just to make sure that I didn't miss anybody. I don't believe I did. Let me check goalies. We are good to go. Let's move on to free agency and see who is available. There could be a game changer here. I'm hoping. At least, it would be nice. Maybe someone who could really make our decisions, or a big decision for us, like who do we keep? I'm trying to think of who could even be a free agent, but if we could get like a 90-plus overall guy, maybe it would be worth going after him. As it is, we have a log jam in the top 6, and the only way to solve that is to trade people for equal value, and that just means you have even more players. You could get rid of them for first-round picks, but first-round picks in this game, with the way the scouting is not completely broken, but not great, it's always a tough call. But free agents here, we have Alex Pietrangelo, Tyler Johnson, Mike Hoffman as the big three. Pietrangelo might not be a bad shout. He's 30. We've never had him in a sim, actually. That might not be a bad shout. That might not be a bad idea. Goaltending, do we have anybody? Obviously, we have Carey Price, so we don't have to worry about it too much. Malcolm Subban's available, up to an 87 overall, designated as an elite goalie. He's looking for a lot of money. Oh my god. He might be worth going after, though, because he could very well jump to an 88, 89 by the time the preseason rolls around. But, of course, we still don't know what our goalies are going to do anyway. No decent prospects worth going after. Like, medium fringe isn't bad, but we have medium starters as it is. So, not worth it there. AHL starters, no goalies worth picking up. The only decent option would be to potentially go after Malcolm Subban, just to be able to use him, but we'd have to trade somebody away right now. Of course, defensively, Pietrangelo is available. Rob O'Gara is available. Although, tough to say. I mean, he is a true defensive D-man. That is for sure. Not necessarily sure if we need him. But there is somebody here. 22 years old, 82 overall, Dmitry Koltsov. 24th overall pick from the 2018 draft, San Jose. Letting him go. He might be worth getting. We might have to make a deal here. Actually, you know what? Let's go for Koltsov immediately. That's a guarantee. Because he'll be on an entry-level deal, and that really won't count towards the cap. But we have Vanelli, Esa Lindell. He won't pan out. So defensively, Pietrangelo, Rob O'Gara, decent options. Matt Grzelcyk is there. Hasn't turned into what he did in the Bruins series. And that's the thing. You never know. You never know. Like, you look at Jacob Larson in the Bruins series. He's a beast. You look at Matt Grzelcyk in this series compared to the Bruins series. He's not what he was. You never know. So that is one thing that I do like, of course, about this game is, every sim, it can be a little bit different. Same players might not be guarantees to turn into, amazing players. Josh Fierro, second-round pick from Washington. He might be worth going after, too. Tough call for sure. Got a bunch of 23-year-olds. I think I'm going to go after him, too. We're going to prioritize prospects here. Let's go after Fierro. He was the only one really worth going after. We'll just keep checking out prospects here for now. Zach Senyshyn is available. I don't want to keep getting the same players in each series, but that's just kind of how it's working out, and it's tough to avoid that situation. But could potentially go for Senyshyn, but I don't think I will. In the Bruins series is not exactly lighting the world on fire either. Any high AHL guys, high AHL potentials worth picking up? Riley Suter. You know what? We'll send him a deal. We'll send him a deal. Might be worth it. And again, we'll max that out. Hopefully influence them to sign for us. Is this Kaler? No, it's Keanu. Keanu Yamamoto. No, wait. Kaler would be the one that is more projected to actually make it. Always confusing because a few years ago in the NHL games, Keanu Yamamoto was like a guaranteed elite. Now, of course, it is his younger brother who is tearing it up. But let's see. That is that for prospects. So we'll look to bring in Sutter. I'm just going to double check here for medium top nines. Anybody decent? No. All right. Left wings. Who do we have? And there's a decent signing here. Nando Eggenberger, the best name. San Jose letting their prospects go. Not sure what's up with that, but I'm going to look to sign him, man. He's available. We will go for him. No guarantee that they'll sign, like we've seen with Brock Besser in certain sims here. I can't remember if that was the Bruins. I think that was the Bruins series, but regardless, he didn't sign. So you never know for sure. We have another guy here as well, George McGinn from the Flyers. So for now, I'm just going to keep trying to sign these prospects. Florida is in on a couple of these guys as well. I don't necessarily blame them. Low top nine, Johan Havlid. We will pass on signing him. Any high AHL guys here? High AHL potential. Nobody in particular. Right, but we're still making some decent progress here if we are able to actually sign these guys. Let's double check centers. And there's another one. Philip Zadina. I'm going to say Zadina because Zadina is just... It's weird, especially if you listen to Steel Panther. It's weird. 6th overall pick in the 2018 draft, man. These guys aren't signing with the teams that drafted him, so we will absolutely go for him. Pavel Zacha is there as well. He might be worth going after here. He won't take a two-way deal. Nicholas Patan is there. Wow, he didn't turn into anything. Holy shit. You never know, man. You never know in these sims. But it might be worth going after Pavel Zacha here. Let's take a look at other potential prospects. Not looking too good. Any high AHL top 6 potentials that are at least a little bit younger? Not looking like it. All 23. All right. I mean, at the very least, I don't know if we should go after Subban or Alex Pietrangelo. but we have sent out quite a few offers here. Certainly more than I planned. Eggenberger, Zadina, Koltsov, McGinn, Sutter, and Fierro. Not too bad. And actually, I think we'd have to clear out some contract spots anyway to make this work. So let's double check. And if we have to make a trade, who knows? Maybe. I mean, I think I might go after Pavel Zacha, but if we wanted to go after Malcolm Subban or Pietrangelo, we would have to make a deal. We have 6 spots available, so I'd probably trade one person just in case. Maybe offload some of those goalies for picks. All right. Yeah, let's look at making a trade here. Just to at least offload another contract or two. And I don't know. Maybe. I don't think we'll trade one of our big guys here. It'd be nice to get Pietrangelo or to get Malcolm Subban as the replacement for Carey Price, perhaps. But that's a big if. You know, I mean, Carey Price, he's still only 32. He's still only 32. The youngest I've seen someone retire when they're still a high overall is 35, I think. So I'm pretty sure we'll be all right. I am pretty sure that we will be all right. A defenseman. Who could we potentially get rid of here? It would have to be Wesley, Bruce. Damn, I actually don't want to get rid of any of those guys. How about forwards? Are there any obvious choices? Entwistle, he's low top 6, no guarantee at becoming a decent player. Might get rid of Jerry Lampkin, who is a 3rd round pick of ours. Actually, I think he'll be someone that we send out. And who was that at the bottom? Lindblom, who we actually just re-signed. Lampkin's 21. You know what? We'll just get rid of Lampkin, I think. And Zhukanov? Let's get rid of Zhukanov as well. I don't think he'll pan out. So we'll get rid of these 2 guys just to make sure that we're good to go. How about we send them to Buffalo for absolutely nothing? And then we have to decide for sure if I want to go after anybody or not, which, like I said, it would mean trading away one of the big-time players. Wow, that actually went through. Okay, so we get a 2nd round pick among others. Ah, man, who would it have to be here? I think we'd have to outright trade Carey Price just to be able to hopefully get Malcolm Subban. And that's just not worth it. You know, we have Drew Doughty, Sergachev. I can't do it. I can't do it. So no Pietrangelo, no Subban. Let's go send Zacha. I think it's Zacha. It might be Zaka. I'm going to say Zacha. We'll send him a deal. And that will be that. And actually, I might even go in for Rob O'Gara here, if we can afford him. It didn't say that I needed to send him any picks. I didn't notice that he was an RFA. I think we're good, though. Even if it did, who cares? Because we are going to have to get some draft picks back. O'Gara's looking for way too much, so we're good to go. It turns out we're just going after prospects, and we will see who signs with us. So let's take a look. Who will sign with us? Who will decline? Riley Sutter is here. Not bad. He's the first one. Let's get some answers from some other people. Zacha has accepted, but we got to wait to see if that offer is matched. I honestly didn't notice. I noticed that we did sign Zadina, but yeah, I actually didn't notice he was an RFA when I sent him the deal. I imagine his team will accept. Fierro has signed. McGinn, Zadina, Eggenberger, Koltsov. I think that was everybody. We just need to wait to see the fate of Zacha. He is the last one. Yes, he was. All right, so we'll see if he signs with us, and then we get to move on, of course, to the preseason, where more moves will certainly be made. We know you've accepted. We just need to know if your team is going to, and they didn't match it. Minnesota didn't match it, so we get him for $1.1 million. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. And we'll see if he can progress at all. Let's move forward to the preseason, and heads are about to roll. After looking at some of the progression on this team, guys, and due to the fact that he's already dropped down to an 87, I have to make the call, and Max Pacioretty has to go. We're going to try to pick up Joel Armia for the 4th line right wing spot. Yes, I know he's a little bit too good for that spot, but defensively, that's about as good as you can get for someone who isn't playing inside the top 6. He's on a 1-year deal as well, so we can do what we have to do after this season. I just piled on the draft picks here. We'll see what goes through, and that will not. But to pick up someone who fits into our lineup, as well as being able to get some draft picks in there, more than worth it for me. The question is, what are we going to be able to do draft pick-wise? They actually might not... we might not be able to get the second. Let's try to get a couple of thirds in there then. From the Leafs and Max Pacioretty will be going to Toronto, of all places. If we can get this to work, it's looking a little bit rocky. Wow, that still didn't go through. Damn, they want him, but they're not budging. Let's see if this works out. Armia. No. Wow. Christ. Really? What are we going to do here? They really don't want to trade him. Okay, now we're within range here. Let's give them some of our lower picks coming up. That still didn't go through. My God. Well, I expect we'll have to make more changes. So 2 6th and a 7th, as well as Max Pacioretty. Will that go through? And it does. So Patches, thank you for what you did. You got a cup out of it. Now you're off to Toronto. Defensively, we also have a bit of a problem. We have possibly the best D-core we've had in a sim so far yet. We have 3 players. We can only keep 1 for the third pairing D spot. Jacob Larson, Caleb Jones, and Thomas Chabot. Chabot is a top 4 defenseman, but I am willing to keep him, although he is one of the guys that's really going to be looking to get paid next season. So that is the debate. Chabot and potentially not being able to afford him. Larson, who's on a good deal but might not progress. And Caleb Jones. And I'm going to go with Thomas Chabot. We're going to keep him. So Larson and Jones need to be on their way out. And we're going to try to send them to the Pittsburgh Penguins. I don't know if we'll be able to get this first, but if we do, I'm content. I haven't tested this out at all, so who knows what we'll be able to get. I don't even know. Could we get him straight up for a first? Would that go through? No. All right, so anyway, we will look to get as many picks out of the Penguins as we can here. Wow, that would actually go through immediately. Okay, shit. Well, let's tack on a little bit more. I mean, that is the shitty thing. I would love to keep more than... I'd love to keep all of them. And I'm thinking that maybe trading Thomas Chabot would be the better choice. I wouldn't mind keeping Caleb Jones in particular. Larson, whether it was because of the contract, simply isn't going to improve. But I'm going to go with Chabot because we are absolutely going for another cup this season. This extra third-round pick may have been too much, but I also want to make this work. You know what? I'm going to try to make this work, and we're going to try to get... See, this is how we end up with so many picks, because of the caliber of players that we are trading away. A 4th-round pick should make this work. We will give up our own Larson Jones and a 4th to Pittsburgh for their next 2 2nd and 3rd round picks to make room for Thomas Chabot. Our first trade involving prospects, mainly down in the AHL. We have Boucher, a goalie that we actually just signed, as well as Dexter, so hopefully we don't get in trouble for trading them. And the other backup goalie who is a low starter. We are going to try and acquire Jamie Bjugstad. We need another right-handed defenseman down in or up in Chicago, technically, depending on where you are. In St. Louis, it would be up in Chicago. We're going to try to get him, and indeed, we do. Now, you guys might think this trade is a little bit ridiculous, and that's because it is. Our 4 goalie prospects right now, the problem is, I want to change up the AHL because I want to sign those players that hang around, like Ben Blood, and there's another goalie. I want to sign those guys to 1-year deals so I can get rid of them, and then I can just I can go back to just hitting best lines down in the AHL. Instead of every time there's an injury, I have to go best lines, and then I have to take that guy who was signed because of the fantasy draft. Of course, they're on those AHL deals, but I go best lines, it puts them in the lineup. I think I explained it well enough. And the goalie situation is going to be one of that. So I want to get rid of these 3 guys because I don't have a good feeling about them anyway. I mean, and 2, I want a taller goalie. Like Carey Price, 6'3", the guy we're looking at here, and my Finnish viewers, you're going to hate me, but Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, close enough. 6'4", same potential, and we'll see what he can do. And he'll avoid, he'll be a higher overall than one of the goalies that is signed to one of those deals. I don't know if this will go through. We'll check. It honestly might. Holy shit, it did. Well, I should have gotten more for that. But then again, I don't really care. Toronto gets some good goalies. We get the goalie that we want. They feel pretty good about the trade, so now I feel a little bit worse about it. But yeah, one of many moves to come. More trades, because of course we need to clear out some players. Tripp and Fisher, two guys, medium top 6 defensemen. I don't know if that will go through, and it actually did. Lovely, so we get a ton of picks from the Sabres for those two players, and we'll actually stay live here, because I do need to make another trade. 6 more people need to be cleared. I should have done this seasons ago, because it would have made things much easier. But Lindblom, Niemi, McLean, Krivicic, Lane, and Hendry all need to go, and it sucks. I really wanted to hold on to these guys, but this needs to be done. We're going to look to send them to the Bruins, because the Bruins actually have some spots. Yes, they are listed as champion contenders, which scares me a little bit, because these might not end up being the best of picks. I wonder if something like this might go through, and it didn't, but I'm going to see if I can get there first, especially after messing up that Toronto trade. Would that go through clean? And it did. Probably should have tacked on some other picks, but we get a first-round pick from Boston, and we clear out some players as well. You know, in a way, I don't feel too bad, you know, being on the losing end of these trades value-wise, because it's not like we haven't just completely robbed some teams blind. I mean, you just saw our draft pick situation right now. It's not like we're ever going to, you know, not be in a decent spot. It's impossible. It's just the way you play the game. You keep talent flowing in, you're going to end up consistently getting draft picks. Can we get Calgary's second straight up for Hendry? We can't, and apparently it wasn't even close, even though it looked pretty close. So let's go with a couple of thirds, and again, robbing them blind with these, and, you know, we could intentionally get less back for Hendry than what he is worth, but why the hell would we do that? And actually, it's looking like the Flames don't necessarily want him, but we're going to make it happen. Again, I don't care if we necessarily get robbed blind, which is exactly what's going to happen here, but that's fine by me. We'll just go through. Holy shit. Just take him. Thank you. 3rd and 5th for Hendry. Let's move forward. The team is set, and I cannot wait for you guys to see this. Now, of course, we made some interesting changes, trading away pretty much every goalie, if not every goalie, that we actually just drafted. Making some moves I didn't expect that we'd have to make, but I think the end result puts this team in a very, very good spot. You look at the St. Louis Blues, 99, 95, 96 for ratings. The Chicago Wolves, not too bad, 80, 79, and 81. Let's quickly take a look at the teams, because I really don't want this episode to go on too much longer. Top line is Michael Dowcall, Connor McDavid, who is actually a 96. He is just currently affected by the Max Pacioretty trade, and Jack Eichel. Clayton Keller is with Dylan Strome and Patrick Laine. We needed to make room for Laine, and here's the thing too, Klim Kostin and Tyson Jost, both now second-line players, so you could argue for trading away one of these 5, the top line along with Keller and Strome, to make room for Jost and Kostin on that second line. Tough situation. Timo Meier, though, still on the 3rd line. He is there. You can see why we had to trade Pacioretty. The 4th line, I'm intrigued to see what they can do. Pavel Zacha is with Emile Poirier and Joel Armia. So I'm intrigued to see what this team could do. We could still make further changes if we wanted to get Jost and Kostin on the second line. Of course, we could just use power play time to make sure that they get their play time. But defensively, oh boy, defensively, Top line, Olli Juolevi and Drew Doughty, Mikhail Sergachev and Timothy Liljegren, Thomas Chabot with Dmitry Koltsov, who ended up being one hell of a pickup. The Ukrainian defenseman slotting in there on the third pairing with Chabot. Again, that would have been Larson or Jones. We went with Chabot. Holy shit, that defense. The goaltending, of course, it is Carey Price with Vieni Vehviläinen as the backup, an 83 overall starting, although I think he's normally an 84, and yeah, he is currently affected by Max Pacioretty. The AHL, we have some interesting pieces. Davidson, Howden, and Glenn Gaudin will be the top line. Bellerive, Levine, or I think it's Lavin. I think some people were saying Lavin, but yeah, he's there. And Entwistle. Third pairing is Simpson, Comtois, and McGinn. Eggenberger is with Zadina and Sutter. Not Sutter, Suter. Double T. Sorry. Defensively, I mean, you can understand why defensively the prospects aren't great. One medium top four defenseman in Bjugstad, who we just acquired. And then in the goaltending, it is Luukkonen and DiPietro. Of course, the one scratch that's actually someone for the future is Vyacheslav Kenins. Everybody else, these other 9 players were signed so that after this year, we can get rid of them. Because if I were to go best lines right now, it would put a couple of them into the lineup, and that is a pain in the ass. So we had to give up some decent prospects to do it. We got some picks back, tried to cheat the trades a little bit and got caught a couple of times, but that's okay. It is what it is. This team is in a good spot to compete moving forward. And yeah, but then again, the changes might not be done, and that is where I ask you guys, what should we do? Is the team good to go, or should we make some more changes before attempting to repeat as Stanley Cup champions? But for now, guys, that will do it for this episode. If you did enjoy this episode, though, of course, make sure to hit that like button if you haven't already to continue to, yeah, I mixed everything up there. I'm leaving this in. Leave a like to support me and my channel if you haven't already, and subscribe to continue following this series and others. I tried to get way ahead of myself. I'm worried about the episode time. Although I know some people don't mind longer episodes. But anyway, this one is done. I will see you guys next time.